Alright, so you'll have to pardon what I've got going on. I've been trying out a bunch of different things. Uh, I know that the voice is not very well taken very well in the phone, so we're just going to work on that. But today I realized my shop is getting a little out of hand. I need to do a little cleanup, a little maintenance, as well as finish up these boards here that we've been working on, and start this one here, which is going to be our big 10.5 inch. I have the mold that we're going to be shaping it off of right over there. So just hang with me, and we're going to get things going. So I'll just keep flipping around the camera. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to express them below, and I will reach out every so often and check and see if there's any messages or comments on what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, or how I'm doing it. So without further ado, we're going to get started. I'm going to do a little light cleanup. I just recently cleaned up the mess right here. I had a big ass mess here in this spot by the door. I've been cleaning that up. So like I said, you're going to have to bear with me. I don't have a monitor for this yet, but that's okay. I have these three that I've worked on already. I have a bunch of other graphics that I plan to do, probably one of which will be on this board over here. This orange one, we're going to be shaping up this thing, or I'm sorry, it's already been shaping. We're going to sand it down smooth. The paint kind of got away from me. I don't know what happened, but they get gritty sometimes. So I'm just going to hit that with some 320, smooth that out, and make it right. So set that over here. Like I said, I need to do a little maintenance. I cleaned up there. I still need to sweep, obviously. I got trash everywhere on the floor. Luckily, I think that's out of shot, so you don't have to worry about my mess. But anyways, we're going to start with this next one. We only have two more on these particular boards that we're working on. Turn this here so you can see a little bit better. And what we're going to be doing is applying these graphics to this board right here. Now we've done it before on this one, and well, this is what the back looks like. We're going to do the same for this one. Now I'm going to take a second and turn this camera around, because this is just not working for me. Come on, there we go. I had to turn it around. I had to be able to see what's going on in case there's any questions, comments, concerns. I can make sure I got the shot lined up, and you can see what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So without further ado, now I've done in other episodes, I showed how I'm doing this using, oh, look at that, cricket. How I'm using a heat gun and grip tape roller that I got at the local skate shop. If you need to get either of these, they're easily accessible, so you can start laying out these types of graphics yourself. Now, I must admit, it's trial and error. It's going to take some doing, some learning, but it's fun. I enjoy it. I think you will too. Anyways, so it's not easy as the machine would have, as you would use on the machine. Sorry. So what we are going to do is lay out this best we can, left to right. Now this little stripe right here, I don't know if you can see that. I'm not going to have that stripe. I had it on the others. You can just scrape that off with your fingernail usually. This is what the back looks like. It's kind of ink based. I mean, it is ink, so, you know. This is a custom setup that we're doing for a customer. He requested some special top graphics as well as the bottom graphics, and I like doing these. They're pretty unique to do the top graphics. I gotta get that lined up there. But it also entails that you're gonna have to have a piece of your grip tape cut out so you can see it, which is not a problem for a cruiser or something for somebody else, but for me, I particularly like to have a full sheet all the way down. I might do some art on it, like my board right now has a ton of art. But anyways, I digress. Maybe I need to have this plugged in for it to work. So, I'll do that first. Like I said, if you have any questions or comments or concerns about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, or how I'm doing it, please let me know. I'll bring this in a little bit closer so you can see. We're going to be laying down that graphic right there. That's the one. There we go. Okay. Get the camera locked in. Okay. So, I'm just gonna hold this down for now. It's got a tacky bit on it that's gonna hold it down once you put some heat on it. So, standard gun has 2 settings, low and then high. I use the high setting. And what we're trying to do is relax this vinyl down. We want to get it to lay down nice and smooth. You don't want to burn your fingers, but also make sure this thing's not going to move on you, so you can kind of move your hands around if you need to. You don't want that vinyl flopping around like it is right now. So I'm not doing a good example on that, but I digress. Let me move on. So we're going to start applying pressure here in just a minute. Okay. We're starting to get some good heat going. Now before I get this stick, I noticed it was just a little bit misaligned, so I want to tighten that up. There we go. Gotta make sure it's good. Does that look good? I think it looks alright, right? What's up? If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to hit them up in the comments right there. I'll gladly answer them if I can. Excuse me. Okay. So I think we're good. We're going to go ahead and start going with it. Now I don't want to add too much heat at once. I want to kind of be even with it. See that moving around? That's what you don't want. Yeah, shit. That's what you get with this process. It's trial and error. Okay. And lightly start pressing that down. And it's moving again. I promise, I didn't have this much problem last time. But today, it just doesn't want to work for me. That's alright. I was having some camera problems yesterday. It was not a fun time. But either way, I'm glad to have you guys here with me. If you have any questions or comments about what I'm doing, please let me know. But kind of looks like we're putting skateboard graphics on. And yeah, that's exactly what we're doing actually. But we're doing it the cheap way. My skateboard company is called Bakwuds Skateboards, so as you can imagine, I like to do things just a little bit backwards. May not be technically right most of the time, but it gets the job done. Just like these skateboards, I learned how to do this on my own, you know, like figuring out how to shape them, what they need to be, and all that fun stuff, all the measurements. There's a lot that goes into it I didn't realize until you really start getting into the nitty-gritty of skateboarding. Anyways, okay, so we've got pretty good adhesion right now, not enough though. So we got to get a little bit more here on the H, which is always a trouble spot for me. Mostly, there we go. Because it's so close to the edge, it becomes a problem. When it's right in the center, it's not a problem at all. It's pretty easy to do. But when you get close to the edge here, it starts trying to pop off the roller. Alright, so now we have that. I'm hearing noises. I don't know. Oh, it's in here. Anyway. Alright, so like I said, I have this heat gun on the second setting. This is just a standard issue grip tape roller. And I'm just pressing the hell out of it. A little bit of heat, a little bit of pressure. Okay, so we're starting to get some good separation here. So let me take a second. Now bear with me, guys. I'm going to turn this camera around so you can see everything. If I can get it loose. There we go. Let me turn it around. Now, just hang with me a second. Right there. Okay. So that, all those little bubbles, that means that it's starting to separate right there. All these bubbles right here, that's good. That's what we want. Once we start seeing that, that's telling us it's separating from the vinyl that is the backing, that makes up the backing of it. So we're going to press it a little bit more and try to get it just right. Make sure I have that in shot. So, I know you can't see my beautiful face right now, so I apologize. But just hang with me. We're going to try to get this thing going in real time. Get this thing off of here. There we go. You see that? See how it's starting to do that? That's good stuff. That's good stuff right there. We're just about there. Oh, there we go. So, as you can tell, sometimes when you get it going too much, it'll just nearly pop off of there all by itself. What's up, Zookeeper? Sorry, it took me a minute to say that. Anyways, so we're pretty much right there. And it all came off just right now. That L is looking a little shifty. So I'm going to put this back on there, which is very delicate. You got to be careful about doing this. Ow. And watch that heat gun too. It's hot. So we're going to try to press that L just a little bit more on there. There we go. Now. All right. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask at any time. I'm still going to leave the camera right here, but I'm going to show you that little extra bit right here that I was talking about. That's what we're going to pull off. Now, as you can see, just merely touching it makes it flake away. So that's why you got to be delicate with the rest of this graphic. If you're too much with it, it's going to come right the hell off. So we're just going to very gently, and it starts to peel back, kind of like glue does, you know, like on like a credit card or something like that. So just like that. There we go. Okay. Now, it's like it was never there. So we're going to turn this camera around again. So give me a second. There we go. Hey, what's up? Okay. Now we're back at it. Right there. Seems like a good spot. That seems like a good spot, yeah. Oh, that's good. Okay. Bring a little bit closer into the action. Like I said, if you have any questions or comments about anything I have going on, please feel free to reach out anytime. I'd be happy to answer them. Now I have one more to do. Same thing. It has the same colored kind of top right there, but this one is a little bit special in the fact that it's an egg shape. Now, what do you guys think about that shape? That's pretty sweet, right? Like, I kind of want to skate this myself. I'm not gonna lie, I like that shape. But mine, I have actually created a square tail for myself. Square tail for myself. I apologize. And that's what I'm going to be riding. So anyways, let me stop showing off this skateboard here. It's a cool shape. If you haven't tried the egg shape, it's really popular right now. And for good reason. It looks fun, you know? So, I forgot to mention, all of these boards are all twins. So, they're the same on the front as the back. Either way you look at it, either way you slice it, it's a twin. The only thing that makes it up now from front to back is the graphic I just put on. So anyways, like I said, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me show you the back graphic again. Right there. Good thing I looked too, because I'm going to flip that around. Let's see, did I mess that one up? I did. I messed that one up. It's all right. I have more graphics. I could pull it off if I need to. Okay. Which we might end up doing. It's okay though. So like I said, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about what I'm doing, please let me know in the comment section below. Like I said, my spacing was about 1/2 of an inch from the bolt holes here. Going for nice and straight, obviously. Something like that. Now, that looks pretty good. What do you think? Good? I think we're good to go. Let me turn that light down a little bit because that's burning my face, that light. All right. So like I said, I was holding this down just until it can start to adhere a little bit and this vinyl starts to relax. Now, I've been thinking about it. I think I'm going to end up scraping that one off simply because I put it on the wrong side. It happens. I was not paying attention. I was too worried about making sure everything else was happening right that I didn't check to make sure that was happening right. That was kind of a bonehead thing on my part, but it happens. Okay, like I said, you gotta be careful heating up your fingers. You're not trying to make roast human. Okay, switch. I'm gonna start lightly pressing it in. I'm not putting a whole lot of pressure in. I'm putting a little bit, but not a great deal. See how it's starting to move around like that? That's what we don't want to happen. I'm going to add some more heat. So I was trying this with these back graphics, just slow and steady like this, and it really does seem to work pretty well. We just keep going back and forth real slow like this. However, you still need to get these edges, which you're going to have to go this way to get them properly. But what I do is just kind of tighten it up right there. See that? That's what I'm trying to prevent. Okay. Like I said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns about what I'm doing or why I'm doing it, please let me know in the comments section right there. But if you don't, I'll just keep on going. And yeah. So on the last one we did, that graphic or the vinyl just came right off. This one looks like it wants to be peeled, but I'm being real gentle about it, so I want to make sure all these edges are down. It should be easy to lift. It shouldn't be very difficult at all. So if it's not easy to lift off of there, then you haven't done it enough. Now, truth be told, in the machine process, obviously, I am not pressing nearly enough, even, which I like to do this, which I didn't do on the first one, two-handed push like this. Even this is apparently not enough, which I believe. I mean, it makes sense. But I think it's enough to do it, right? Like, it gets it on there. And we got it. Just like that. You see what I mean? Let me turn this around a little bit. Get a better shot of it. Right there. There you go. See? Now I know it's backwards, obviously. It's not backwards on the board because I have to use the face cam. So in case you guys have any questions or comments, you know, I can answer them for you. But anyways, let me go back to what I was saying. So this one has the same kind of thing as the other one did. This extra bit right here. That's what we want to, it's kind of hard, there we, in that light. There we go. That extra bit. We're going to try to remove that right there. Like I said, it comes right off with your finger, but you got to be careful not to hit your actual graphic that you just put on there. Because if you do, then, well, you're up a creek without a paddle, and it's no fun. So, just nice and gentle. I wasn't putting a whole lot of pressure in there. There we go. Okay. Now, it looks like it's pretty good. Yeah, pretty good adhesion. I'm pretty satisfied with that. I hope you guys learned something from that. Now, let me show you what we're going to do next. We're going to go back to this one. Now, let's say you were up one day on a Saturday making a YouTube video about doing skateboard graphics, and you were rushing to make sure everything was looking good for the viewer, the lights, and all that kind of fun stuff, the camera. And then you didn't pay attention to this. But this is upside down from this. That's a problem. So what are we going to do? We're going to have to scrape this off of here. Now I could probably sit here just like that because it's not quite adhered yet. I could scrape it all off. But luckily for us, we know also that heat will put it on, so that means heat will take it off. Am I right? I think I might be right. So, now because I made a bonehead mistake by putting this on, I mean, this was fine. This is what I messed up. So I'm going to have to scrape this all off of here. I could probably use some sandpaper. I might try that if this doesn't work. But because I have a pretty well finished top on here that I've already hit with some 220, I want to try to stray away from doing anything like that. Now, there you guys, you see if you get the edge up, just a simple friction of my fingers, because I work with my hands, they're quite grippy. I can just peel those edges up. Now, keep in mind, this is only because it's hot and it's a fresh graphic. Once you let this sit for a while, you throw a layer of clear coat on it, which I intend to do. It's going to be very hard to scrape off of there. And actually, I have one over there I might be able to show you here in just a second. But first, we're going to try to get rid of my first mistake on live TV, or live YouTube. Not TV, YouTube TV. I guess if you're watching it on a regular size TV, it is YouTube TV. But, you know, we all make mistakes, and luckily, I had some more of these made, just in case I made a bonehead mistake. It's almost like I knew I was going to make a bonehead mistake. Go figure, right? Okay, so we're almost there. It just says, hello. Hello! So as I understand it, this is a new skateboard brand coming out. I don't know too much about it. I don't know if it is a hush-hush kind of thing, or if he's broadcasting it out just yet. So we're going to keep our lips sealed on that particular topic. However, I am very happy to have been able to be given this project to do for him. I think it's pretty awesome that he entrusts me to do his skateboards, his shapes. I pressed these myself. I did the graphics. I'm sorry, he did the graphics. I applied the graphics. I stained them. Now, I didn't use the typical staining process as most skate companies do it. That's just because I don't have the money for that. It takes quite a bit, and I just don't have it. But anyways, I digress. I'm rambling on about nonsense. We're over here trying to fix my mistake, which I put a graphic on this way, reading this way. This goes this way. So we're going to get rid of all of it. There we go. Sometimes we just make mistakes when we're not thinking, not paying attention. That's okay. We just let it ride. Luckily, this was an easily correctable mistake. Now, it's like it was never there. So, in the right kind of light, you can almost see it. See that? You can almost see the lettering. But watch this. Get your little same sandpaper that you finished with. You can go grab that same stuff. I actually have 320, which I usually finish with 220, but that's fine. All this is doing really is just getting rid of that gloss. Okay, just like that. Just gets rid of that gloss. I need to hit it just a little bit more. In proper light with this thing here, you can see a little bit better. But just like that, see? Now it's gone. Now, what we meant to do, set this aside. Okay. Is the graphic needs to be like this, just as it is here. See? That's what it's supposed to be. But Big Dumb Bob right here, well, he did it wrong. So we're going to do it one more time. Like I said, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, or how I'm doing it, please let me know in the comments section. Otherwise, I do appreciate you guys joining me for this. It's really fun to share my knowledge of what I am doing. Some of it is tried and true stuff. Some of it is made up stuff like this. I just made up this process and it works. But either way, I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Okay, so we were going for about 1/2 inch right there from our truck mounting holes. Now, obviously, we want it to be nice and straight. I do have more. They're a different type of these graphics, but I hope I don't have to use it. Okay, so if I don't bump it like I just did, I'll be all right. Okay, something like that is what we're going to go for. Heat up my hands sometimes just a little too much. Again, I'm starting nice and easy here with the pressing. I don't want it to move too much. You can see it's trying to move just a little bit on me. I need to add more heat. More heat's going to get this thing to relax and lay down, and the glue is going to start to take effect. It's a glue-based ink or ink-based glue or something. I don't know specifically, honestly. But it works for what we're doing. I keep hearing that thing making noise over there. I don't like it. Okay. We're going to also be careful not to heat this thing up too fast. Too much too fast. That could be very bad and lead to a non-sticking situation. Okay. This one's actually coming off pretty good. Turn this thing around. Sorry if I'm blocking the shot now. I am a little bit. Okay, I'm going to heat this up a little bit more. There we go. Okay. I think we're just about there on this one. Just about there. Okay. Now, let's have a look-see. Not too bad. Not too bad, right? I'm happy with it. I think it turned out pretty well, like I just said. I like it. Yeah. Not bad. Okay. So, our next problem is taking that off very gently. Now, I probably could have cut that off with the scissors before I even started this process. But that's kind of easy. I don't have to be that precise with my scissor cuts, which I'm not known for my preciseness, as you could tell because I messed it up the first time. Anyways, so it looks great. It looks great. It really adhered very, very nicely, very thoroughly. Let me turn the camera around so you can see a little bit better of what I'm looking at here. Bear with me just a second here. Okay, there we go. Now, zoom in there just a little bit. There we go. So, the graphic turned out pretty good. You can see the divots, these right here. I think that's the wood underneath. I don't know that that's necessarily the graphic or my adhesion. But like, see how this one's very smooth? Oh, hold on, you're falling. Like you're drunk over there. All right. But yeah, see the B and the O and the S and the S turned out really smooth. The H has those pit marks too, right there. But I don't think it's necessarily a problem. It's just something different. When I turn that camera around, when it comes time to clear coat these, it'll probably take care of all of that for me. Probably. Okay, so we have these done. These three that we did earlier are already finished. I'm gonna turn that light around. That way you can see me. You can see my face. You got me? Okay. So I did these three earlier. Now we gotta stack them up, move them out the way so we can start our next project. Question is, where am I gonna go? At the beginning of this video, I was saying how my space, I've just vastly outgrown this space. And, well, now I'm at a quandary because I've got so much going on. I did not realize how much was actually I had going on. I'm gonna be honest with you. All right, we're gonna stack these up very gently, obviously. Stacking these up right here. Now this last one, this one's still just a little warm. You can't see what I'm doing. Still just a little warm. We're gonna stack that one up over here too. Now, move that right there and grab our next deck. So this one, another custom order that I was working on for somebody. Excuse me. And yes, that is very vibrant, bright orange we had going on. But you can tell it's got some issues. There you go. You can kind of see it right there. If nothing else, I can feel it. It's not as smooth as it should be. So we're going to hit that with actually the same 320 that we had a minute ago. And I could probably hit this with the orbital sander. But that might not be necessary. I'm just going to fold it over. sometimes when you do the base coat, it has built up bits in there, and it just gets on there and could potentially ruin the graphic that you're going to be doing underneath it, and I don't want that. So I gotta sand it down just a little bit. It's gonna give me that nice smooth texture that was there before I got that spraying. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, or how I'm doing it, please feel free to hit me up in the comments section below. So I was thinking about, for this particular deck, doing a heat transfer graphic. Now usually I do hand-painted graphics, that's kind of my thing. And I enjoy doing those very much, and I was planning on continuing those. But should I'm asking you guys, do you think I should put a heat transfer graphic onto this? And just give me a second and I'll show you what graphic I'm talking about. Now, I think it's a really cool graphic, and I think it would pair up very nicely with this particular orange that I have here. But I want to get your opinion after I get done sanding this thing down, which we're just about there. We're smooth now. Okay. Good and smooth. Now I'm going to take this, my old pair of pants, become very useful for shop towels. Any of you guys that have a shop of your own, you got old pants laying around, I had boxes of them, just started cutting them up and making rags with them. I'm sure you probably do that yourself. I mean, this makes sense to me. But anyways, small tip for you if you didn't already think about it yourself. Work for all kinds of things. Okay, so let me show you the graphic that I'm thinking about doing. Okay. I had to make sure I had my scissors. Last time I forgot my scissors, and that was just not good. It results were bad. Anyway. So this graphic right here is what I was thinking about working on. What do you guys think? Should I drop it on that deck right there? That orange and that black would look pretty damn good together, I think. And it fits perfectly. So, any votes? Votes yes, votes no? Tell you what, while we're thinking about it, conversating about it, I'm going to cut it out. And then maybe once I lay it out there by itself, maybe you'll get a better opinion of what it's going to look like. I'll be very careful not to cut into one of these other graphics, because that would be bad. But on this blank vinyl part, I don't have to be precise at all. Just as far as my graphic goes that I'm concerned about. And of course, messing up the rest of them, you don't want to do that either. So, there we go. Now, give me a second. Let me get this one out the way. Like I said, if you have any questions or comments or concerns about what I'm doing, please feel free to let me know. I'm happy to answer any comments or questions about it, about this process, about the skateboard making process, or any of it at all. I'll at least tell you what I can. Okay. So here's our graphic, nicely cut out. Now as you saw that line, I guess it's part of their printing. It's just on every single one of them. So it's far enough away. I'm just going to cut that off right now. Again, you don't have to be precise with it. Doesn't matter too much. Now, here's what I'm thinking. This graphic, now, this is a mellow board. So if you, it's kind of hard to tell from the angle. It has a nose and a tail. So we're going to put that, obviously, face up. Okay. So this is what I'm thinking. Smack dab right in the center. And then maybe I could come back and add some more details around it. Let me show you guys what you think. Pretty rad, right? I think I'm going to do it. He said I can do whatever I want. Creative freedom on this one. So, small detail though. If I had the heat press machine here with me, which I don't, it's at the other shop, I would simply put it into the machine like this. It would press down, suck it through, and I'd take it, flip it around, and do the same thing. Now what we're trying to do is mimic that whole process by doing the same thing with heat and a roller. Now if you've just started joining us, then that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to mimic the heat press process with skateboards by hand. It is possible. I've just done a bunch of them, and we're going to do another one right here. And then we're going to shape up a board if we have enough time, which we should. We got about 20 minutes left. And like I said, this one lines up just too nicely for me not to want to do it. Now I want to make sure that Bakwuds is nice and straight. Obviously this one's much bigger, so it's going to take a little bit longer than that one did. But that's okay. We're going to get it going all the same. If you have any questions or comments about anything I'm doing, please feel free to hit me up in the comments section below. Otherwise, I hope you're enjoying what you're watching, and I do appreciate you being here with me through this whole process. So anyways, here we go. I think this one's going to turn out really nice. It doesn't move around too much because it's so big. I'm kind of holding it just in case. Now we're going to start. Oh, you see that? It rotated a little. Okay. I'm trying not to heat up the wheel directly. I don't think that that's going to work too well. I think that would create more problems than it would solutions. So I'm trying to stay just ahead of the wheel, which is incredibly hard, actually. I don't know, maybe my dexterity is just not there for it. I'm also having a little extension trouble, but it's okay. Yeah, we're already starting to get separation, which is good. It's good that we're starting to get separation already. But even separation is more important than just bits and pieces coming off. We want the whole thing to come off as one piece. That is the most important, is that you don't have any spots that did not make it because you didn't have enough heat or enough pressure. That would never be good. Like I said, if you have any questions or comments about what I got going on, please let me know in the comments section below. We're getting there. We're almost there on this one. Sometimes you gotta get that pose going. See my pose? This is that graphic pose, I suppose. Graphic pose? Oh, stupid. That's so stupid. Whatever helps get you that pressure that you need, and that pressure that we're looking for to get this thing on here. Like I said, you want to have good, even, solid pressure. So the more pressure I can put on this thing, the better off we're going to be. And these little bubbles tell me that it's separating, and that is what we want to see when we're doing this process. Okay. So we're just about there, like I said before. But I promise this time, hard. I'm going to go ahead and put two-handed pressure on. See if this will add a little bit more. A little more sticking. A little more stick'em. I must be honest though. It was a little brisk out tonight. I was a little brisk outside, but in here running this thing for a little bit is hot. So just keep that in mind if you're going to be doing this process. All right, so we got a little bit right there. It's always the hardest, right there on the edge. Okay. Ta-da! All right. See that? I think that turned out pretty well, right? I think that turned out pretty well. I'm really psyched on that. Yeah, I think that turned out really cool. What do you guys think about that? I'm really psyched on that. I would totally skate that myself. Yeah, I would totally skate that. Even just as is. I might still do some more graphic around the outside of it. But that is totally rad just by itself. Okay. Sorry, I got distracted by that one. Let me show you this. This is one that we worked on, I don't know, about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. So as you can see, I know that a lot of people are curious probably about this. Now you don't hear the graphic. So that's a good thing, right? Like, it's going to scrape away, obviously. That's what skateboards do, or skateboard graphics do. This one I didn't do quite enough pressure, so obviously right here, it didn't stick. So this was just a extra board I had laying around. I wanted to test this process. You can see this graphic is a little blurry anyways. You can kind of see it. But anyways, coincidentally, because I showed that off, I had a buddy interested in that particular shape. He said, hey, I want to get a cruiser just like this. Big old tail. Nice kind of, I don't remember how long it was, honestly. Let's have a look-see. All right, total length, 31 3/4. So a little bit shorter than average. Now this was, I think, 9 3/8, 9 3/8, and a wheelbase of Oh, what is that? 14 and a half. Now we're doing ours just a little bit different, which let me show you over here. I'm going to step over to this side of the shop. Like I said, if you have any questions or comments or concerns about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, or how I'm doing it, please feel free to let me know. This is what we're working on. This thing, 12 inch wide is what we started out with. So we're gonna actually be making a 10.5. Now, because I have this shape here with me, last time when we were laying out these bolt holes and the wheelbase, which is 15 inch, I think. Let me double check that. Yes, our wheelbase is 15 inch on this one. So we're gonna stick with that same cruiser mentality. And we're gonna actually use this one to kind of copy what we need. Now it's not gonna be exact because this is 9 3/8, and what we want is obviously much bigger. But I've got a sort of trick I can show you for that does work. It's not really a trick. I can't really call it that. I don't know why I called it a trick. It's not so much a trick as just being careful laying out everything, making sure we're good and square. Just extension cords everywhere. Like that. I don't need those yet, so we're gonna wait on that. Okay, get that back out of there. Problems everywhere. Okay, so we're good and square. Now, as I said, we're going for 10.5, but of the same shape, if that makes sense. So what we're gonna do is I know what my 10.5 measurement is. Now the 10.5, I actually want to be here at the back side of it, but not at the front side. So we're gonna flip this around because I have it already laid out that is my inside for my nose. That means it's gonna have a big tail, but that's okay. I think you'll be happy with that. It's gonna have some nice, good, strong pop with this one. So I think you'll be very, very happy with that. All right, get ourselves lined up back to where we were. Okay. Now that we're good and square, we're just simply gonna trace from those inner lines that we had, not being too, try not to stray too far from where we were. Now it's okay if you're not quite right. We're gonna cut this extra wide just to make sure that we get everything that we want. Now we're following that line that I made yesterday. Right here, I'm just making it nice and dark so it'll be easy to see right to there. Same with this side. We're going to follow that line all the way down. Ooh, not very precise, am I? Try a little bit better, not any better at all. That's okay. It's okay. We're just trying to be somewhat close to it. Now, as far as the length goes, we're not going to make this any longer, so we're going to stick tight to that just on this section right here. And then from here, we're just going to bring our line up here, around about somewhere. Like I said, it doesn't have to be exact. It's not a science. We're gonna kind of take it by eye. Once we get this drawn up here, we're gonna see what we're looking like. I'm trying to keep my shirt from sticking to it. Okay. Bring that right on up there. There we go. Okay, like I said, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, or why I'm doing it, please feel free to hit me up right there in the comment section. Okay, we're going to set this aside. I'm gonna open up that door. Give me a second here. I got the little makeshift door and the fan. I need some air. I'm not gonna turn the fan on right now though. Okay. I don't think it's plugged in anyways. There we go. Okay. My apologies. We're back. Okay. Yeah. So this is what we're going to work on. As you can see, it's, I don't know, can you see it? You can't really see it. I'm going to have to make this line a little darker so you can see. And we're not quite where we want to be. The tail is not as wide as I want it to be, but that's all right. Like I said, we're going to cut this thing a little bit wide. And I have a basic shape of what I'm looking for, which once I darken this, you'll be able to see a little bit better, I hope. And I'll let you guys think, or see what you think about this shape that we just created together. So even though it's a more or less copy of that one, it's still going to be slightly different, no? Like I think it's going to be slightly different. Now, as far as that tail goes, it goes way far in right there. Not so much in there. So, we're going to reshape that a little bit. So, it's a little straighter. Something like that. I'm just kind of guesstimating on this. Like I said, it's not precise. I'll probably end up shaping this down considerably when I get over there that way to the saw, which I'm going to have to move a bunch of junk out of the way. So we might not get to that today. But we can definitely go ahead and cut this bad boy out. So, not terribly happy with that nose yet. Let me see what you think. Like I said, if you have any questions or comments about what I got, please let me know. But it's pretty close. That's pretty close to what we are looking for. Now, maybe I can just fatten up that section right there. Because to me, it wasn't looking quite square enough. So like I said, there's always going to be some sort of fine tuning on the process to get it to be what I want it to be. So that one seems to have more of a straighter, that one's more of a bulbous. It's hard to say. I like them both, really. Can you see what I'm talking about there? See, this one is a little different than that one. Just a little bit. It's not much, but it is just a little different. So we're going to try to... I'm going to have to look at it like this again. We're about to cut this thing out, just so you know. If you have any questions about this whole process, please let me know in the comments section. But we're going to bring that section out a little bit. It's coming in too much. So, by bringing it out like that, that's going to make it more even all the way around. Much better. Okay. Without much further ado, let's get to the cutting process. Now, I got my standard clamps here. Just your basic wood clamps, nothing special about them. But I do use 2 of them. I don't have a bandsaw at this particular moment. Obviously, I don't have enough space for a bandsaw in here. But besides that, I've always preferred using a jigsaw to get this process done. As long as you got a good sharp blade on it, it's going to work really well to get these things cut. Alright, so hang tight with me. I'm going to turn the fan on. If I could find it. Okay. Now, I'm going to plug this bad boy in too. My shop is in disarray at the moment because I've just been having so many projects happening that I've been having to have things plugged in, unplugged, move here, move there, do this, do that, turn that way, turn this way. Anyways, we're going to start this cutting. Like I said, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about what we're doing, why we're doing it, please let me know in the comment section below. Always something in the way. Just let it ride. Okay. Almost got it. Almost got it. If you have any questions about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, or anything like that, please let me know in the comments section below. I do appreciate you guys joining me for this build that we're doing today. I really appreciate you guys being here for it. And I hope you're learning something about what we're doing. Because I do enjoy skateboarding and making skateboards also. So anything I can do like that, it's great times for me. Blow out. Hate to see that happen. That's never good. But that does happen sometimes. Luckily I did end up pressing 2 of these, but so if this becomes a problem, which it looks like it might, I'll just grab another one. But anyways, you can see we got our rough shape. Now I didn't by no means was I very precise. You can see there's all kinds of jaggedness right here. All kinds of jaggedness right there. Now, usually we step over to our next tool to straighten this all up and to get it straightened, cleaned up. You can see the nose right there. We have to smooth that out. This is a project for tomorrow, I think. Yeah. We're gonna see if we can fix that. I don't see that blowout. That happens sometimes, and well, there's just not much you can do about it. I could put some wood in there and probably make it work, but I don't think we're gonna do that. I don't like having a cheap product, you know. I have some good quality. So this one might be for the wall or a free handout. Maybe I can. Let's see how long that nose is, or that tail is. Maybe it might be okay. You know what? We might be okay. We might be okay. Generally, the tail's not terribly long. This one, as it sits right now, is like 7.5. We're going to bring that down to probably 6 3/4, maybe even 6.5. Now, if I do that, that's going to be well clear of that little mess up spot. And our nose, you know, with the same types of dimensions. Right now, it's showing about 6 7/8. We might just shake that one off and leave it just like it sits, so it's pretty. And that'll give us overall length. Oh yeah, we're going to be right in that butter zone of about 31.5. So that's going to be about perfect. So that won't bite. That might not bite us in the ass. And that might be okay. We might be able to make it work. But anyways, I appreciate you guys joining me for this skate build that we worked on today. Join me again tomorrow, about 7 p.m. We're going to work on finishing this thing up, getting it smoothed out, and who knows, maybe work on another one. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, thank you for joining me, and see you guys next time.